you. My name is Dr. Shaikhah Alainati. I'm a faculty member at the College of Business Studies at PAAET, which is course based in Kuwait. I'm an assistant professor at the Department of Management, and my specialty area is human resource management. Of course, everybody went through the pandemic of COVID, of course. And because of my background as a human resource management, I was very interested in the employees of our colleges, which are the instructors themselves. So during the pandemic, or actually let me start before the pandemic, we used to teach in a very traditional way, which is, just going to your classroom and then explaining the subjects to your students and so on. Even though before the pandemic, we did have a platform of technology where we can teach our students online, but the majority of our teachers, they chose to carry on and teach traditional way rather than using the online sessions. So during the pandemic, we were all forced to move to the online. Now, the majority of us, instructors and teachers, were not even ready to do that. We were all overwhelmed of the sudden change, and we do have to change to the online and so on. The materials was not even ready. The teachers and the students, they did not even know how to use the system of Teams. We used Teams back then. So it was a little bit of hectic, but of course we had to, get it over with and teach our faculty members and give free sessions, of course, for our students to know how to use the systems. But the main force or the main heavyweight was on the instructor himself or herself, of course, because they have to manage not only the class, but they have to also assess their students. When at that point, they were not even ready themselves technically to use the systems. But after a while, we were okay and we did move on. Now, the pandemic is over. Now, the big question was, should we keep on using the online or should we go back to the traditional way of teaching? So this is where the research came from. We wanted to know the instructor's perception of online learning and its usability and its effectiveness. And we found out from this research, because of course I have other co-authors with me in this research, that the majority of the instructors, they want to use both systems. They want to use the benefit of online learning, but at the same time, they want to use the traditional way. And in other words, to make it very clear, teachers found that exams online were not that good because it prones students to cheating, unfortunately. However, they do want to have the online teaching, the systems of online, because it provides them with interactive kind of classrooms. It gives them more interaction with their students. Students can reach their instructors instantly online. They can send them messages, they can tell them what they need. Instructors, they can send them homeworks, for example, online and so on. So all in all, we want to have the benefits of both systems. Teachers do want to teach face-to-face because it's more motivating for the students to interact in class. It's not that interactive online, unfortunately. And they want to give them the exams traditional way in class, but they want the benefit of better communication, better interaction. I can send media links to my students to watch while they're, on their breaks, or to give them more examples of the lecture itself. So all in all, this research not only shows the benefit of both systems, the traditional and the online, but also it gives a recommendation for any institute. If they want to have the online or the traditional, they should study both systems and see what kind of elements that they can incorporate in both systems before they make their decisions. So this is the biggest highlight of our research. There are, of course, some challenges in this research. First of all, I did the statistical analysis of 309 teachers because we have few colleges, yes, under the PAAET, which is the Public Authority for Applied Education and Training. It was not that easy for instructors to participate in this survey, especially they are, their schedule is very full, even though the survey questionnaire was not that long. But it's not that easy to get participants to participate in the survey. But nevertheless, we did talk personally, we did email them, we did sometimes even talk to the department's head to encourage their instructors to do this survey. Other challenges is that, of course, we have different opinion. We did also focus group, by the way. So during the focus group, they did have a lot of, information, and they did have a lot of suggestions. Some of them, they disagree with each other. Some of them, they, give more, suggestions. So it was fruitful, in my opinion. Coming from the background of human resource management, again, I can see very clearly that many of the times managers, unfortunately, make their decisions based on what they think or based on a problem that has been given to them. For example, we will see some teachers will, based on this research, some teachers will complain. They will say, no, we don't want to use the online. I can't give my exams, and my exams will be exploited. Students will cheat, so on and so forth. And then at some point, my management was thinking, you know what, let's stop it completely. But, I did this research to prove to them, yes, there are some problems we have. Yes, there is some down effects of using the online. However, we can use it in different ways. And we can use other elements that is provided only through the online learning. And believe it or not, I did give this research input or feedback to the management, and they did take it into consideration. So what they did is they locked some features that were not helping us as students or as teachers, and they gave us more features that we can use to, to make the most of the online as well as of the traditional. Yes, in my opinion, researchers, of course, you do your research, especially when it's your first time to do this research or any other research, of course. You will be considered as a beginner. When you go to conferences, for example, when you do more researches, every time you do a new research, you will build up your own skills, your own way of doing the research. You will know how to overcome some obstacles. You will learn from it. Not only that, but if you, for example, like what I did, I participated in the NBP 2023 Istanbul Conference, International Conference on Management and Business Practices. Yes. This conference gave me the opportunity to share my research with other researchers. So what happens is that other researchers could ask me a few questions that they are interested in. They could give me comments that could develop me. I mean, I've been doing research for several years. It doesn't mean that I'm a pro. I'm still learning from other people. I'm still getting feedbacks from other people. Now, how can I get these feedbacks? The only way, or one of the ways I should say, is going into conferences, reputable conferences like yours, for example. And I'm so grateful that I've had this opportunity to be at your conference and share my experience and get feedback from other researchers. It does develop researchers, every time we participate in these conferences. More also, it gives us opportunity to collaborate with other researchers. I did several researchers from other people that I've met in other conferences as well. And I've had a research committees, and I have research buddies, with me doing these researches. So it is very beneficial, and you meet more people and you get to know their field of work, and in fact many of the researchers nowadays are multidisciplinary.
Yeah.
So I'm talking, for example, with my research, it's HR, but
Mm.
also it has a technology embedded with it. So when I have other researchers from other disciplines, it will enrich my research. So
Yeah.
this is my advice. Yes, first of all, thank you so much for accepting my paper. And I did present in this conference once again. The benefit of being in this conference is meeting in more researchers with different fields that that will open a window of collaboration between researchers. This is the most important benefit for attending any conference. Also, having a feedback from other participants in that conference will also enrich and widens your variety, your horizon and your vision of what can you do next. One of the questions I've been asked by one of the members, she said, "But how did you put these two systems of online and traditional way together?" And I said, well, it depends on the management itself. It depends of how they see it. So with this paper, I provided them with an output and recommendation, which I'm very grateful that they did look at and they followed. So it depends. It depends on your institute. It doesn't mean that you have to take my experience, but you can, of course, follow this experience and see what are the instructors are looking for. What are their obstacles, pros and cons, let's say. So you can have the best of each systems, combine them together, and then apply them to your institute. And so this impact, these kind of questions benefit, of course, the audience, but at the same time benefits me
Yeah.
to probably have more recommendation that please do this kind of research at your institutes. It will develop it even further. You know what I mean?